If you're in Seoul and you're ever tired of KFC, well, you can always come to KMC. Korean Mania Chicken. Must be the stuff left over from last night. There's a lot more churches going up than temples in Korea. She said she was a Christian, and I said, oh, which denomination? She said she went to the internet, looked it up, and told me Presbyterian. And I said, oh, okay. Good to know. And I have a light sweatshirt on because the online weather said it was about 68 degrees. I can tell you it's not 68 degrees. I'd say it's more like 75. But when the sun goes down, I'll need it. According to this, it says total participants in the war, 1,789,000. Killed in action, 33,642. Wounded, 92,000. And there's some major battles. The pullout of Korean forces from Vietnam as a result of Nixon's announcement of the Vietnamization of the war effort. They phased to pull out in early '72. Through the dispatch of armed forces to Vietnam, we gained confidence and experience in building a more self-reliant defense force. It also increased the momentum of our economic development, strengthened the U.S. commitment to the defense of the Republic of Korea, and solidified South Korea's political and military status vis-a-vis the United States. The Korean War brought misery to all Koreans without exception, even to the old, women, and children. Against the harsh wind, rain, and cold, refugees contrived shelters with pieces of planks, cans, straw bags, sea ration boxes, and straw, sustained by rice porridge with dried cabbage leaves or a mixture of whatever food was available, even tree bark. Yeah. Yeah. Most of you probably know, but technically there's no end to this war. They're still at war right now. Upon receiving the notification of her husband's death in battle, a woman wails in grief. And they're not even portraying how bad it was in the winter. Refugees could be waited in queue in the front of relief stations for corn flour or milk porridge, building their starved bellies. Oh, that guy in the black looks real. Grandma's, or that grandpa, look at how small they are. No cigarette. Population 20 million before and after the Korean War. 2005, 48 million. A monument in remembrance of the Korean War. Freedom is not free. The tragedy of the Korean War, which began early in the morning of June 25, 1950, with North Korea's illegal invasion of the South, resulting in over 4 million casualties, 10 million disbursement of family members, and 23 billion in property damage. The Republic of Korea, along with the UN forces from 21 different nations, fought at the risk of their lives in order to protect democracy and national peace. The war lasted 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days, and the armistice agreement was signed on July 27, 1953. In the half of a century since the agreement, there's been a great change in this land. Guns have turned into plows. Cannon smoke into factory smoke and gunfire into sounds of love and harmony, establishing the base for well-being and national peace. In this spirit, as we commemorate the tragedy of the war, we erect this war monument in order to pay tribute to those who sacrificed their lives and to leave the internal peace to our sons and daughters with the hope and promise of the unification of the nation. Interesting. What I find a little, I guess, insulting is the word, is that the reality, I'm not even going to say it, but this whole building, okay, has like 3 or 4 rooms, massive rooms in it, maybe more. And they have one small room allocated to the United Nations, not to the United States, but to the United Nations. And they make it sound as though they led this great charge in their own defense, when in reality, I mean, there really was no defense. So, hey, you know, why would anybody remember, right? I mean, 1950. Most people weren't alive back then. But they do have military equipment on display outside. You can see a big Air Force plane over there. South Korean boat that was shot up. We'll get it all marked up. Now this is the Korean War Museum that I just walked through. And those are the different countries that participated in the Korean War. But it's primarily the United States versus China. This is a replica of the United Nations graveyard that I didn't get a chance to go see in Busan. One thing I wanted to see, but couldn't get there in time. Looks like it's maintained nicely, if that's how it looks. Seoul is only 50 miles or so from the DMZ. So if the North ever wants to act crazy again, it's not that far away. There's no way you'd stop 1 million men. This city would be destroyed. And that's why I went down to Busan, or came in to Busan from Japan, because that's where the United States made the last stand, as they say. Well, I think this is to simulate all the dog tags of the guys who died fighting for the United Nations. I don't know if that's the shape of a teardrop or a bomb.